Hi there, it's Nick Shepley here, creator of Explaining History, ebooks, podcasts, and the rest. Sorry, I'm kind of lurching around at the moment, so if in the background you see things moving and it's me being disorientating, I apologise. I'm going to try and stand still for the sake of kind of aesthetics. There we go. Right. Okay. So, I wanted to talk a little bit today about a problem that history students seem to have all the time. This idea that because we basically don't have time machines, we can't go into the past and we can't go and see things as they happened. We have to work on a degree of secondary sources. Pretty much anything that wasn't a photograph taken at the time is a secondary source. Somebody writing about the Battle of the Somme, even hours after it ended, really they're writing in a secondary source. So we're reliant on these secondary sources to give us a picture of the world. And how can we rely on them? How can we do this? How do we know that what we're being told is actually true? Well, the sad truth of it is that, finally, cool, I'm in the middle. The sad truth of it is that we don't know. We can't know. And this goes kind of into the realms of philosophy, really, about how we know anything at all. If you think about electricity, light, genetics, anything that's kind of invisible to us, anything that we need a microscope to see, we're basically reliant on a device, a tool, be it the internet or a textbook or some other means of delivery of information, so that we can have faith in what we see is real. And the same is true of history. Basically, instead, because we haven't got a time machine, because we can't go back into the past, because we cannot see things as they actually happened, what we have to do is rely on the validity of certain sources. Now, let's say that we're looking at an issue like, okay, we said it before, the Battle of the Somme. And we know that on the first day of the Somme, tens of thousands of British soldiers got out of the trenches, and I think I stand corrected, check this if you want, something close to 20,000 were killed outright on the first day. Okay, so there's going to be, in and around that event, a huge amount of, assuming it's true, assuming these things happened, a huge amount of primary evidence. There'll be people writing differing accounts from differing locations on that day of what happened. But hopefully, if we can get enough of those pieces of information, enough of those diaries, those books that were written after the event, official reports, court-martials, that kind of thing, hopefully we can start to build up a kind of picture from all these sources that seems to agree on a couple of main points. What the cause of the disaster was, whether it was a British mistake or whether the Germans were just one step ahead of the British, that kind of thing. So it's about accumulating evidence. It's about finding accumulations of evidence. It's about finding areas where evidence overlaps and where a kind of a more and more detailed and intricate picture can be built up. But it's not just about that. We can have as much evidence as we like. There's a whole internet's worth of it out there. There's a whole countless libraries worth of it out there. We can have as much information as we like and still not be able to form a coherent picture. We could just have stacks and stacks of books and reams of paper, and it's nothing more than a fire hazard. Without being able to interpret that data, those sources, through the kind of the filter of having an opinion, an argument, a perspective, which is what we would call a subjective value, it's all just noise. It's all just data. So if you're writing in your essays, if you're doing your GCSEs, if you're doing your A-levels, and you are wondering how to go about really answering questions, we need two main parts. We need, as I've said before on this YouTube channel, we need evidence, we need an argument to start with, a line of argument, a theory that gives us a kind of a direction that we're going in. Then, as we go through, we need to support that theory with evidence. We need to say that, this isn't just me saying these things, I'm not just making it up at the top of my head. The evidence supports where I'm going with this. And in a way, there's a kind of a chicken and egg thing going on here. Firstly, you need to have an argument, but also you need to have the knowledge to support the argument with anyway. So this is why, if you're watching this and you're a GCSE student or an A-level student, or even if you've made it to university, you must put reading and knowledge first. This must be your first priority, because without that, nothing else can go forward. You can't have an argument, you can't have an opinion, or if you do, it's the kind of ill-informed opinion that really is the sort of rant you get by people at the bus stop complaining about the nature of the country, not really knowing what they're going on about. And that's a bad place to be, I think we'll all agree. So, if you continue to watch this, I'm going to post something more tomorrow about where to find information and the best ways to start breaking down sometimes quite challenging and complex books that we all find a bit intimidating. Anyway, I hope you found this useful, and if you need more information, go to www.explaininghistory.com and you can email me, Nick Shepley, at info@explaininghistory.com if you need some more help. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.